Hey there traders, Andrew Scott Whitmore back here again after markets close on August 29th, and Wall Street has just wrapped up another very busy and interesting week. After a record-setting August, Friday's close cooled the jets a bit. The S&P slipped a little bit, Nasdaq pulled back, and even Nvidia showed signs of exhaustion. But let's not confuse this for weakness. This is the market catching its breath after a big run. So here are our key figures after the close on Friday. Tonight we're going to break down Friday's close, Nvidia and the AI trade, some sector rotations we're seeing again going into Monday, and I'm going to give you two hot setups to look at this weekend before the markets open on Monday. So here's our scoreboard after the close of markets on Friday. S&P 500 fell 41.60 points, or 0.6% rather, to $6,460.26. Dow Jones down 0.2% to 544.88 cents. Nasdaq also down 1.2% to 21,455.55 cents. And lastly, the Russell 2000 went down 0.5% to 2,366.42 cents. So essentially, after close on Friday, it was all red. Don't mistake it. But let's not forget, August finished as one of the strongest months of 2025. The S&P is now up more than 10% year on date. And Nasdaq also up 11.1% or so. So that's serious performance in just 8 months, and it's been a very, very busy year, and it doesn't seem like it's going to slow down anytime soon either. Let's take a look at some more news. We are seeing a bit of an AI sentiment shift, and it's all around tech. So we discussed yesterday the earnings were reported at 46.7 billion for revenue, talking about Nvidia, of course, and also the monster buyback program that we've been hearing about. So Nvidia is still very busy in the news, and more to come still. So let's not mistake the forest for the trees. Nvidia is still the heartbeat of the AI trade. It's not just about chips, it's about market psychology. If Nvidia rallies, risk appetite expands, and if Nvidia hesitates, the entire Nasdaq cools. So today's slip wasn't panic, it was recalibration. And I want us to take a look at this graph here and now. So these were the levels. We had the upper resistance and the support over here. As we can see, it broke through the supports at the open of market today, and ultimately this is what we get on the graph. So earlier this year, anything AI sent stocks vertical. Now traders are getting more selective, and that's what we're seeing here. They want real numbers, not real buzzwords. That's healthy essentially for the market overall. And as long as we are aware of it, we can trade smart. So jumping into this article on Yahoo News about the Magnificent Seven, talking about the results, getting a mixed response from investors. The Nasdaq led Friday's decline, with AI-linked names taking the biggest hits. AMD, Dell, and Supermicro all sold off. Meanwhile, defensives like consumer staples and healthcare held up a bit better. So this is a classic sign of rotation, not risk off. This tells us one thing: investors are still in the game, but they're repositioning. They're taking profits in a stretched tech and redistributing into sectors with steadier cash flows. That's the kind of rotation that sustains bull markets rather than ends them. So ultimately it's positive, and I'm happy that we're able to spot this, and then we're able to work with it. So now what I'm going to do is give us two high potential trade setups. I need to jump back into trading view for this. So firstly, we'll take a look at Autodesk, ticker symbol ADSK. There we go. So this was the big winner of the day. When the chart loads, you'll be able to see. Take a look at that. Beautiful. So shares ripped just over 9% higher after strong earnings and a raised full-year forecast. Demand for design and engineering software tied to AI workflows is absolutely exploding, and Autodesk positioned itself right at the center of that. So shout out Autodesk. The buy signal, if ADSK holds above Friday's breakout level with heavy volume, look for continuation momentum. So just keep in mind, we're going to need to see more of these green bars for that to move in our favor. And a sell or fade signal would be if it gaps higher on Monday but fails to hold VWAP. That's your cue to fade profit loss takers. Okay, now our second hot stock for the day is Dell Technologies, ticker symbol DELL. So this was the big loser of the day. Let's open it up. So the stock dropped almost 9% at 8.88% to $122.15. This is after cautious guidance on AI related servers. Traders had piled in on AI enthusiasm, but Dell's message cooled the hype. So you can see it fell off a cliff there in a big way. Our short signal will be if Dell retests the pre-earnings gap and stalls short into weakness. And a cover signal would be if buyers step in with a high volume bounce, respect it and exit. So these are our two stocks and a perfect case study in post-earnings trading. One's a breakout leader referring to Autodesk, and the other's a broken momentum name referring to Dell, of course. So both are rich in setups if you trade them with discipline. As always, we need to stay patient and follow the market. Now, lastly, I just want to take a quick look at Nvidia to show you what happened. So you can see we broke through the floor here, which was our primary support, and at the open of market on Friday dropped straight through the floor there and essentially showed us that what we had marked out here last week was pretty much accurate. So now I'm going to hide that and I will create some new horizontal lines for us to predict where we're going to go next week. So stay tuned for that, and I will get that set up for our video on Monday. Taking a look at Friday's sentiment check. Friday was about taking profit, not panic. Tech has cooled, but defensives held. Nvidia slipped, but didn't break. Autodesk soared, Dell crashed, and that's just earnings doing their job of sorting the winners from the losers. The market is still bullish at its core. Friday's red was an exhale after a big August sprint. And honestly, traders, I think we should welcome that. Just straight up every day isn't healthy, and pullbacks create the setups that we're living for. So all this red ain't necessarily a bad thing. Let's take a few key takeaways in closing today. The markets pulled back on Friday, but August finished strong. That's 4 straight monthly gains. Nvidia delivered monster earnings, but the stock eased. Expectations are sky high, but the AI trade is still the market's heartbeat. Tech has cooled, defensives firmed. That's healthy rotation, that isn't fear. And Autodesk and Dell gave us textbook post-earnings setups. One breakout and one breakdown. So our mindset heading into Monday, everyone. This is when traders make their money in the pullbacks, in the rotations, in the setups that follow big earnings. Don't chase the noise, trade the signals. Tight risk, clear invalidations, and conviction only when the market confirms. Alright, I'm ready to sign off now. Friday's given us clarity, not chaos. Nvidia still rules, rotation is alive, and the tape is setting up beautifully for September. So stay sharp, stay hungry, and stick with me here on these videos, and I'll see you on Monday at the open. Have a great weekend. Take care.